Hey, this is Mr. C, and good morning. You are now on to over halfway with Chapter 2. You are on to evaluating expressions. Once you have this written in your notes, please unpause the video. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Please have your homework out, and you are checking it. If it is incorrect, please write the correct answer in, and then put it in your math folder in your agenda. Please pause the video. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we are evaluating expressions. Remember, when you see the word evaluating, you should think an equal sign because that's what it means. You're finding what something is equal to. All right, how can you evaluate an algebraic expression? I also remember that an expression does not have an equal sign. It's just going to be something like this, 20 plus 3x. Notice how there's no equal sign, so we call that an expression. Let's continue reading. Willie has one large case that holds 20 miniature race cars. That's right here. He also has 3 smaller cases with miniature race cars. The number of miniature cars Willie has can be expressed as 20 plus 3x. How did they get that? Well, the large one holds 20 plus 1, 2, 3 smaller cases, 3, and then x. We don't know how many the smaller cases hold, so that's what the problem is going to tell us. How many miniature cars does he have if each smaller case holds 14 cars? So now they told us what goes in as x, and this is the whole lesson. When they give us a number, can I substitute it for the variable and find out what it is equal to? Can I evaluate it? Can I find out what it's equal to? So now we are evaluating 20 plus 3x, and they told us what's going to go in for x. Evaluate means to find a value of an expression, and my own Mr. C terms are to find out what it's equal to. To evaluate an algebraic expression, use substitution to replace the variable with a number. Both of these words will be in your vocab notes in the next slide, so don't worry about that. And if you were lucky, you were handed it to tape it in to your notes, because everybody loves doing that. So, if x equals the number of miniature cars in each smaller case, then evaluate for x equals 14. All right, 20 plus 3 times 14. How did they get that? Well, I'm looking back up here. All they did was they substituted 14 for x. So now you have 20 plus 42. We know that whenever a number is next to parentheses, you multiply. And then they add 20 plus 42, and that's 62. Willie has 62 miniature race cars. Let's look over here. Suppose that the smaller cases each hold 10 miniature cars. How many cars would he have then? So we have the same expression right here. It's an expression because it doesn't have an equal sign. And now we're going to substitute or put in 4x. See how there's no longer an x there. Instead, there is a 10 because you are substituting. All right, 20 plus 3 times 10, and that's 50. I want you to notice that when a letter is right next to a number, it means to multiply, and that's every single time. Willie would have 50 cars. So here's a chart that tells us what we just learned. When there are 14 cars per case, then you have 62 total. When there are 10 cars per case, then you have 50 total. Let's go on. I see vocab notes right up here. That means it needs to be in your notes. So you were either handed one or you should need to write it. Please pause the video right now. 3, 2, 1. All right, here's our example 1. We know that example 1, Mr. C is going to do it for you, going to do the example. And then we know when we get to example 2, he asks you to do it first and then to check your answer. So Mr. C is going to do these examples. All right, so we have t minus 8 over here. And we know that t is 18, or t is equal to 18. So when you substitute, then you basically just plop it into the problem for the letter that it's equal to. 18 is t. T is 18. So wherever there is a t, instead of a t, it's now going to be an 18. And that's how we evaluate algebraic expressions. So now we have 18 minus 8, and I know that's 10. This should be written in your notes, and also this. All right, so here we have the problem, and we know that w right here is equal to 3. So anytime there is a w, it's now 3. It's no longer a w, it's a 3. So we're going to substitute, we're going to plop that in there. So now we have 6 parentheses 3 plus 9. If you're with a partner, I'd like you to tell them, how did you know to put a 3 here for a w? You can pause the video. All right, you should have said, because it had w equals 3, and I substituted in for w what it is equal to, which is 3. When a number is right next to parentheses, we know that we multiply. So this is 6 times 3. That's 18 plus 9. And I did that first because in PEMDAS, multiply is first. Now, 18 plus 9 is 27. We found out what this was equal to, which is a special word called, please tell the person next to you if you know what it is. Evaluate, that's right. I'm sure you all got it. Let's go on. If you need to pause the video, please do so now. Now we are at example 2. Example 2, you always try first, and then you come back and you see if you got it right. Please pause the video now and see if you can do both of these with the substitution method. Alright, so let's look right up here. They said x equals 14. We plopped 12 in for x. We substituted it. So now we have 2 times 12 instead of 2x divided by 4. That's the rest of the problem. So we know that when it's right next to parentheses, it's multiply. 24 divided by 4. And I know that 24 divided by 4 is 6. Let's look down here now. P plus parentheses 8p minus 4. Notice how I said whenever there's a p, you plop in, you substitute what it's equal to for it. So I now have 9 instead of p plus 8 times 9. I said that whenever it's next to each other, it means times, so I can write it like this as well. Times 9. I like how there's more than one p there. Minus 4. Now I'm looking at PEMDAS, and I know that parentheses is first. I see parentheses. So whatever's inside, I'm going to do first. And I see that multiply is before subtract, which is down here. So I'm going to multiply, and I got 72, and I brought this down, minus 4, and I brought this down, 9 plus, and then I'm going to do what's in the parentheses first before the addition. 9 plus 68, and my answer is 77. And I just evaluated those expressions when it told me what the variable was equal to, which was 9. Now let's go on. Now you have independent or partners practice, and this is your page number. And I just wanted to put this because for numbers 8 through 22, it wants you to evaluate each expression for 3 different numbers. Why did I not have many problems here that I have assigned? It's because for each one, you need to do it 3 times with different numbers that are equal to the variable. When you're ready, please unpause the video. Going to answers in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for watching this video, and if you don't know, you go to the gas station on Socrative before Khan Academy right after this, and you are awesome.